Hey, it's Coach K. Welcome in. This is our warm-up for our linear sprint day. So we're going to start off with our rudiment hops. We're going to work on creating stiffness in the ankle and in the knee. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with our nice tall posture. We're going to keep our knee and our ankles relatively stiff. We're not going to let them flop and move and bend. So we're going to stay nice and tall, and we're going to flip up. We're going to try to pop those toes up and have a relatively flat foot. We're not on our toes. We are on the midfoot. We're going to go forward, and then we're going to go backwards. Under control, small movements, forward and backwards for about 5 yards or so, maybe 10 feet. We're going to turn, and we're going to do the same thing to the side. So I'm going to go to my left, keeping those knees nice and stiff, trying to flip the toes up at the bottom, maintaining that stiffness, and then we're going to go back to the right. Good. It's going to get the heart rate up, going to get a little blood flowing. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the world's greatest stretch. So we're going to reach down, we're going to walk ourselves out into a push-up position, hands under your shoulders. Now we're going to bring that right foot up as high as you can. We want to bring it all the way up by the knee, by the right shoulder if we can. We're going to keep the back leg straight. We're going to try to take this right elbow to the ground. Nice and relaxed. Big deep breath in, blow it out. Then we're going to press the left hand in. We're going to reach up to the ceiling with our upper back. We are not going to open up at the hips. We're going to open up at the upper back. Rotate. Pause with a deep breath in here and an exhale. Down, and then we're going to switch. Open with the upper back to the opposite side. This is going to challenge your balance a little bit, and it should be tougher, opening up. Then we're going to go into our hamstring stretch. Nice and relaxed. We're going to hold this for about a 10 count. If you can pull that toe up, it'll give you a little more stretch. Okay? We're going to switch sides. Left foot up. Get that knee by that front elbow and shoulder. Take our left elbow down. Keep this back leg straight. You can squeeze your backside and your quad to get a stretch. Elbow down. Hand up. Trying to keep just rotating through the upper back. Hand down. And we're going to open up with the right arm, the opposite hand. Palm down. And we're going to push back. We're going to bring that toe up. Get a big stretch on the calf and hamstring, on the front leg side. Done there. We're going to walk ourselves up. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to lean against a wall or something here. So we're going to walk our feet away from the wall. The further out you walk, the more difficult this will become. We're going to do an anterior tibialis raise. So heels down. We're going to take our toes and we're going to pull them up towards our shin. We'll relax, and then we're going to pull those toes up to the shin. We're going to do 15 of these. The further your legs are away from the wall, the more difficult this gets. Okay, all the way up, all the way down. We want to pull this up. Do not cut these short. Do not race up and down with this. I want you to bring it up, pause, and then take it right back down. The goal here, make sure we keep the legs straight. We don't want a bent knee. We really want to put pressure on the front side of our shins. We're going to work to create some mobility in the ankle. So we're going to pull that up and down here. Following that, we're going to turn around. We're going to face the wall. We're going to do a calf raise. So we're going to start with both feet down. Difficulty-wise, this will be easier. We're going to stay nice and tall through our posture. We're going to bring it all the way up, pause, and then all the way down. Up, pause, and all the way down. We want to keep the legs straight on this. If that is really, really easy, then we can bring this foot behind and we can do one leg at a time. The goal here is to do 10 on each side here, all the way up on the toe, through the ball of the foot. We want to work as high as we can. We're going to keep that heel off the ground. So we're going to work through that. If we're on 2 legs, we'll go ahead and do 20 of those. If we're on 1 leg here, we're going to do 10 on each side. All the way up on the toe, down. You should feel this work in and through. If we walk back just a little bit, we'll get a little more challenge. All the way up and down. Good work all the way through that. Great. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to come down to a half kneeling position. 1 knee down, 1 knee up. We're going to grab this ankle here. I'm going to push my thumb in that front side here, but we're going to do an ankle mobilization. We're going to bring this forward and then come right back up. We're going to plant the heel down and we're going to rock that knee forward. Okay, so that knee is going to go over the toe. We want to work to keep that heel down. We're not going to hold it. We're just going to come forward, get to a full range of motion there as far as we can. Come back up. The goal is to mobilize the ankle joint, not to get a stretch on the calf. So we're just going to mobilize that, move it forward. We'll go back and forth here. We're going to get 10 of these. Plant that heel, and the goal is to try by the end to get a little bit further and a little bit better than we were at the beginning. We're going to flip sides. So these are really important because overall, the goal of going through this whole series is to make sure we appropriately warm up the body for our workout, but we also want to create mobility. The first and foremost rule of physical training is to move well first. If we don't move well, you are not going to be able to reach your full potential. So we're going to keep that heel down. We're going to rock this forward, get out to the full range of motion that we can, and then we're going to bring it back up. The ankle is tremendously important because we want to both mobilize it, but also work to strengthen that and to remain stiff. So that is the dichotomy of sports, is being mobile, but also stable, okay? Next, we're going to roll over onto our back. We're going to do a single leg hip lift. So we're going to plant the left heel into the ground. I'm going to pull my right knee into the chest. This is important. Don't just let this leg hang here and go up, okay? Pull this in because we want to lock the lumbar spine in place. Heel down. We're going to bring this and we're going to press up, pause, and then we're going to bring it right back down. Up, pause, bring it right back down. The focus is to make sure we stay flat in our lumbar spine, that we don't do this and have a big arch in our back. Pull this in, push up as far as you can. If you feel this in your hamstring, you can adjust your foot position. This should be in your backside with very minimal hamstring activation. Bring it up and down. We're going to do 6 of these on each leg. So pull it in, push. We're going to go down. Again, locking that lumbar spine into place, working all the way through the hip. This is very important. We want to be able to move fully through our hip. Great. Next, we're going to grab our mini band. We're going to put this, we're going to wrap it around our shoelaces. So, now we're going to lay on back. And our goal is to really work our hip flexors, which is an important part of our core. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our feet long. And then we're going to curl up in our upper back just a little bit. We're going to pull this in as far as we can, pause, and then take it back down. I'm going to alternate each side. I'm going to do 6 of these. This is a very challenging move especially dependent upon the difficulty of your band. We have our Black Perform Better bands. This is the highest level of mini band difficulty. We're trying to pull this up as high as we can get it, at least to a 90-degree angle. Keep that up, pull it in. You stay in this position, you're also going to get some core activation. So we got 6 of those. And then we're going to take that band off. So, next, we are going to go into a plank. So, we're going to flip on over. And our goal is to take some of that activation. And we're going to get here. We're going to lock that core down. And we're just going to hold. We really just want to activate. So, you're going to hold this for about 30 seconds or about 5 deep breaths. So when we talk about breathing, the goal is that we would breathe in through our nose, into your stomach, into your diaphragm, and then blow it out through your mouth. So in through the nose and blow it out. If you have a stopwatch, you can hold this for 30 seconds, or we can also hold it for 5 breaths. Great, we're going to relax there. We're going to do that one more time. All right, so come on down. Now we're going to do that again. Ready? And go. We're going to go palms down, nice and relaxed, nice flat back. We want to engage the core. If you want to make this more challenging, you can do a couple things. We can really work to squeeze our quads, and we can squeeze our backside. That will engage the core more. You can raise one foot for half of the time. Next, we're going to do a V stance T-spine, a wide stance thoracic spine. So we're going to take our feet, toes straight ahead, as wide as we can, while keeping our legs straight. We're going to go palms down into the ground. I'm going to push the hand in, and I'm going to rotate up, eyeballs to my fingertips, fingertips to the ceiling. And then we're going to switch. Push away. This is very important. Trying to keep the legs straight. If you cannot keep the legs straight, you can use a foam roller, a basketball, something underneath of you to work to keep the legs straight. And then as you get better, you can lower yourself down to the ground. 3 of them on each side, nice and relaxed. Now we're going to go from that position. We're going to bring our feet a little bit closer. We're going to do a lateral squat. So 6 on each side. The back leg stays straight. We're going to sit our butt back. Drive through the whole foot. Do not let your heel come off the ground. You can reach your hands forward. You can bring your hands together. Whatever allows you to sit as deep as possible, put you in the best position. There we go. As we prepare for this session, the goal is to loosen yourself up, to get you ready to excel. But we also need to make sure we're getting our mind right. So we're going to get set throughout this, but set your intention that you're going to go through this and you're going to reach your full potential for today with where you're at. Whether your training intensity is 100% all-out effort or your intensity is dialed back a little bit, it doesn't matter. I want you to give your best effort with where you're supposed to be today. Next, we're going to work on a snap down. Okay, this is very important because it works on deceleration and works on our injury reduction. So we're going to start up nice and tall. Hands overhead. We're going to snap it down. And pause. We want to make sure our knees are not caved in here. They're not in a valgus position. We want the knees to be lined up right over the middle of our foot. Here. Rip it down. And turn to the side. Make sure you sit back. You should be in a great athletic position. You should have someone come over and bump you. You should be able to be stable here. Same thing goes. We have 2 feet. As we progress, you can do this in a 1 foot manner to stick and hold. Good. 1 foot is certainly more challenging than 2. We're going to do 4 of those with 2 legs, or we're going to do 4 of them with a single leg, depending on where we're at in the program. Next, we are going to work in our mini band again. So we're going to grab our mini band. Again, the mini band should not necessarily just be tough for the sake of being difficult. You have to be able to do all of the movements and all of the work with the mini band. So we're going to start with that band right below your knees on your tibial tuberosity. So what we're going to do, first thing, is we're going to keep our right leg still, nice and solid. But we're going to move that left leg all the way in, left knee all the way in, all the way out, all the way in, all the way out. Little abduction, we want to make sure we activate the backside. So this is an easy way to do that. 6. We're going to do 10 of those on each side. Make sure that you are mentally prepared for what we're going to do today. The outcomes of what you're going to do in the next few weeks and months through training are going to be determined by what you do every single day. There's going to be days that you don't want to do this, but you're going to get up and get after it anyway because your goals matter and you want to achieve them. After we get done with the abduction, we're going to go into an eccentric squat. So, toes straight ahead. We're going to make sure we maintain a nice tall upper body posture. We're going to sit down nice and slow. So down, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Up, we're going to drive it up quick, pressing the floor away with both feet. Down, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Up. We're going to do 8 of those. Down, 2, 3, up. Down, 2, 3, up. Down, 2, 3, up. Down, 2, 3, up. Making sure as we go down, we're really working to drive that band apart while our feet stay still. This is going to work in through our ankle mobility. It's going to make us activate our backside. It's going to be really important to make sure we are fully warmed up before we get into our training for today. Up. Now we're going to do a lateral band walk. So we're going to step to the side. Here's the goal. We're going to do either 5 yards or about 10 feet of these, okay? So we can do this in a couple different places. Right around the knee is going to be challenging because we're going to step and we're going to replace. Once you start, your big toe should be under your armpits. But as you step, you never want those feet to come back together any closer than they currently are. Step, replace, replace. Okay, we're going to step and replace side to side. Okay? Whatever you do one way, we're going to do going back the other. Now, as you do this, you can challenge yourself. You don't just have to do the hardest thing because it's hard. This is about activation. It's not an exercise. Okay, so you can also go a little bit pigeon-toed. We're not going to go fully in pigeon-toed, but you can turn your toes in a little bit. That's going to activate a little bit more. Or we could drop the band down to your mid-shin or all the way down to your ankle. Either way, that will make it more challenging. We're going to walk back and forth, staying under control. We want our hips level. Think of this like you have your hips are a glass of water, and we don't want to spill that. So make sure you keep those hips even, and we're not doing this giant walk here. Keep those hips level, step, replace, and we're going to go side to side. So that's that. Now, next, we're going to get into our ham scoops. So we're going to do this a couple different ways. Number one, what you're going to do is you're going to start with your foot, your toe, in line with the opposite heel. We're going to put the left leg forward to begin. We're going to have the right leg back. We're going to bend this knee, and then all we're going to do is we're going to shoot those hips back. We're going to hold this position. We're going to hold it for 30 seconds to start. Now, We don't do a ton of static stretching before we start moving, but we want to make sure that we lengthen our hamstrings so that we are prepared as we start to run and move. So you can hold on here. We want this toe off the ground. Ideally, if you can get your fingers down to the ground, we're going to squeeze the quad. If it's challenging, you can back yourself up. But you can also reach down, squeeze, and hold. Done. And then we'll switch. Opposite foot, legs straight, squeeze your quad, hips back, and we're going to hold. Nice and easy breathing. The goal is to squeeze the quad to create some relaxation in the hamstring. Nice, easy breathing. Good. Now, once we lengthen, we're going to work to do a little bit of strengthen, the mobility work. Our single leg deadlift. Single leg deadlift, we're going to be head to heel, strong like steel. We're going to plant the left foot in the ground with a slight bend in the knee. And now I'm going to move at the hips. So I'm going to reach my hands away from my heels, and I'm going to bring it back up. So digging into my foot, and I'm reaching nice and long and strong. I'm going to do 8 of these on each leg. We want to stay nice and long and strong. The goal is not to round over and just move the hip, and we also don't want to just kick our foot back here, okay? So stay long and strong. Reach the heel away from the hands. Think of your hips like headlights. We want them pointing down into the ground. Reach, reach. Two more. Good. Next, we are going to do some half kneeling arm action. This is our sprint day. So we're going to go right knee down. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this knee. It's going to be right about in line with the heel of our front foot. Now this heel is going to come off the ground a little bit. We're going to take that knee forward. I want you to bring your right hand up by your cheek here, left hand by your other cheek. Our goal is we're going to throw this hand back. So I want you to think, throw the hammer back. If I had a hammer in my hand and I was trying to throw it behind the glass window behind me, boom, I want to throw that thing hard. So here, first round, say go. We're going to rip those hands through. This hand shoots up because this hand powers back, okay? So rip it, punch here. Go. Reset, ready, go. Ready, go. Ready, go. All right, now we're going to switch sides. The goal is we're going to lean in here. It's going to work on a little bit of ankle and stability while we're here. Set, go. Set, go. Set, go. Set, go. Set, go. Good. Now, I'm going to go back to that left leg up. We're going to lean in when I say go. We're going to do 2 at a time. Boom, boom, really fast. We're going to bring it back to our starting position. So lean in here, hands up, cheek to cheek. Ready? Long and strong spine. Set, go. 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 Done there. Next, we're going to get into a wall drill. We're going to do a couple different ways here. We're going to take our hands and we're going to push into the wall here. We're going to be long and strong, head to heel strong like steel here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to be with our heels just off the ground. We don't have to be way up on our toes. we actually want to be on the ball of our foot because this is where we're going to strike. Boom, we're going to drive that foot down and back. Here, we're going to push down. Okay, so this is our wall drill. Nice, tall, long, and strong posture. You're going to bring this knee up here. When I say go, you're going to switch, punch one foot back, and you're going to drive the other one forward, okay? The whole goal is not to bring this one up and like karate chop the knee up. The goal is to drive the foot back and to smash down into the ground. Okay? So here, let's bring it up. Right leg up, long and strong posture. Ready? Go. Snap it down. Ready? Go. 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 Good. Now, that's our first round of our wall drill. Next, we're going to do a double wall drill. So we're going to switch 2 times. When I say go this time, we're going to switch and punch, punch. So if I start with my left leg up, my left leg will end up. Okay? So hands straight out from your shoulders. Long and strong posture. Nice and tall. Bring that left leg up. Here we go. Ready? Go. Pop, pop. Now it's important to make sure this right leg gets all the way up. Ready? Go. Pop, pop. Go. Pop, pop. Go. Pop, pop. Go. Good. Now, we're going to do that same thing, and we're going to flip legs. So, right leg up, long and strong posture. Ready? Go. 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 Last thing we're going to do is we're going to do a continuous run. So, wall drill, we're going to go fast. Pop, 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 pop. Piston-like action. Super fast against the wall. We want those knees to come up and down really quick. So, here we go. We're going to do this for about 10 seconds. Right leg up, long, strong posture. Ready? Go. Done. Making sure we always drive back, down, and through the ground. This is where the work happens. If you want to go faster forward, we have to push back. So that means more force into the ground. So while we're doing our skips and everything that comes next in our dynamic warm-up, the knee coming up with the heel underneath it is going to be super important because we want to drive back. If you had a hammer and you were going to hammer something, a nail, hammer it into a piece of wood, you don't want this little like dinky hammer action. We want a big boom, drive, okay? So we don't want it to be so high that our back rounds. It'd be like bringing a hammer way back and hitting the wood and not the nail. We want to do it under control, but here, we want to drive that foot down and back. Put force into the ground.